Hi everyone, welcome to marlamiller.com's Marketing the Muse, our 33rd quick word critique. This one is fiction, but before I get to it, I just want to give a shout out to Writer Beware co-creators Victoria Strauss and Ann Crispin for taking the time to appear on my radio show last Saturday, Marketing Our Muse, Every Writer's Challenge. We had a great interview. If you don't know them, if you don't know Writer Beware, you really must bookmark this site. It has been in existence since 1978, and the blog form of it has been warning us and educating us about all of the scams out there in our writing life, on the internet and off, since I think 2005. These two women are prolific authors, 30 books between them, I believe. But they're also passionate about protecting writers and educating us about all those predators out there who just want our money, who will promise us anything just so we give them our money. And, because writing is such a our writing is so close to us, it's so intimate, it's so personal. We tend to believe a bit more than we should. So a big thank you to Writer Beware and the co-creators, Victoria and Ann, and I hope that you enjoy the interview. It's 15 minutes long and it's filled with lots of good information. Okay, let's get to this query letter. Okay, dear agent, let me see, is the light better over here? Yeah. Dear agent, I know you are a well-respected agent and have represented such authors as, name a few, who have written similar stories to my first novel entitled Time Writer, a 70K plus word ghost story mystery. Some secrets refuse to stay buried even after 73 years. An unexpected trip to a forgotten family cemetery throws Madison Webster on a trail of ghostly encounters, both figuratively and literally. Searching for her great-grandmother, Madison discovers her grave when a sudden gust of wind blows a leaf-littered path directly to Sadie Stonegate's headstone. Coincidence? Madison thinks not, after another strange experience leaves her visibly shaken, and her mother notices Sadie's death marked as 1936 instead of 1933. This sets the wheels in motion as Madison, a fifth-grade teacher with a passion for local history, yet unaware of her own, becomes entangled in a well-kept family secret that threatens her grandfather's life. More unusual events follow as Madison learns about the Stonegates, a prominent family of West Carrington, Maine, who made their fortune during the textile mill era. Questioning her grandfather, Ernie gets her nowhere. He isn't talking. The subject becomes taboo as the family tiptoes around him as he recovers from knee surgery in the family-owned nursing home. Things heat up when an old nemesis enters the picture. Charlotte Stonegate, Ernie's 96-year-old stepmother, joins him at the home and pushes him to the brink of physical and emotional despair. Ernie is forced to relive the horrors of his childhood as Madison scrambles to unravel the past. Enlisting the help of her husband Jake, a software engineer and video game consultant, Madison searches for answers through Jake's Time War program, an interactive computer game that plays out possible scenarios she hopes will bring her closer to the truth. Jake's lab soon takes on a life of its own, and Madison learns of a tragic event involving Sadie in the fall of 1936. Is Time War playing out the truth or random possibilities, or is someone other than Jake at the controls? With the help of a long-lost family member, Madison finds more than she bargained for and a connection to an unexpected source. Will her answers come in time to save her grandfather from spiraling into an even darker place? Will Ernie finally unearth the truth in time to save himself? My inspiration for this story came after hitting a few roadblocks when researching my own family history. I was about to take my first plunge into the National Novel Writing Month, an annual month-long event where participants must write a 50K word novel in 30 days. I needed a storyline that quickly drew from my ancestors' mysterious past, filling in the background as I went. Time Writer is the first novel resulting from this event. The Stonegates is the second and its prequel, taking the reader back to the 1930s when we learn the details of Sadie Stonegate's life and the Stonegates themselves. I am a published writer of fiction, nonfiction, and poetry. Credits range from various print and online publications. Sample chapters of this novel can be furnished upon request. Thank you for your time and look forward to hearing from you soon. Sincerely. Okay. What do I think? Well, I think that, and again, I always post these on the site. You know that by now, I hope. I think there's an awful lot here. And I think that this author has made a heroic effort into getting the essence of this story confined to a paragraph. But for me, she's offered so much that I don't feel compelled to want to learn more. And again, I hesitate to say that because it's just my opinion. But I think that this novel has the makings of a good whodunit, and how are we going to solve the mystery with the help of perhaps our ghostly helpers? I don't know. But there's not enough here about that for me to think, oh, this is going to be a mystery that's filled with ghosts, and I'm going to get to know them, and I'm going to get to root for them, and it just doesn't have that yet. I think that it could. I would encourage this author to take a look at that second paragraph and perhaps not tell us so much about all the characters that are going to help her solve this. I would focus more on what does she have to solve? Now, we know that there's that her grandpa is in failing health, and that his wicked witch step mother comes back onto the scene, and that even at the age of 96, she's still a threat. We know that we've got the protagonist's husband, who's got some expertise with the internet, so perhaps one of his programs is going to help. We know that there's somebody else, perhaps a ghost, who's going to jump in there and help. But I don't know enough, and so I would really encourage her to, after she sets this up, which I think she did pretty well in paragraph 2, I'd encourage her to really refine paragraph 3, tighten the tension on this story, make us want to turn the page, make me the proposed agent want to say, gee, I've got to find out if there's anything here, because right now there is. She's hooked me enough. So I would really look at paragraph 3. In terms of paragraph 4, I don't know that it's absolutely necessary or helpful to this author to include the first portion of that, in that she decided to write this after being hitting roadblocks when she was researching her own family history. I don't know that I would say any of that. You can say that it's a novel that was perhaps inspired by a personal story. You can say that it's one of 2 in a series. But I'm not sure that I would include the fact that I wrote the first draft of this in 30 days. I don't know that that will help you. And beyond that, I do think that she needs to hook better in the second paragraph, and that's all that I'll say about this. I invite this writer to resubmit if she chooses to follow my advice and tighten up her story tension, because I think that's what she needs to do. And if she wants to not do what I'm suggesting that she do and submit this to agents, I would encourage her to find agents that rep this kind of genre and, pitch it to them. You never know until you put it out there. Until the next time, be well, keep writing.